Especially, I think it's an important topic to talk about as a team, and I'm interested to know more about it. And yeah, I don't have any distraction. I pass it to NT.
Thanks, Ivy. My intentions are just to catch up. I haven't been on a call for like a month. Um, and distractions, not many. I just have a light headache. Uh, but yeah, pass it over to you, Bear.
Thank you, Auntie. So my intention, uh, I guess it would be just to maybe discuss a little bit about the standardization next steps for some of the working groups, like for transparency itself, and maybe about the forum post, if we are still gonna do it, or what are we
It's done and it's passing.
Oh, it's done. Yeah, I haven't seen that then. My bad. I didn't know, Septi. I'll just check it out. um and then yeah, I guess it's that, and I don't have any distraction.
Yeah, great. I can take it. Let me share my screen. Yeah, here's the vote there. If you go here, Token Engineering Commons. The vote closes today at 7 in 2 hours, 7:25 p.m. CT. So yeah, basically there is 280K voting yes, 22K abstaining, which means they add to the quorum, but nothing else. So it's like 100% support requirement, and we reach the quorum. So unless someone blocks it in the last moment, it seems it's passing. And the next things is like, yeah, start doing like for I'll DM, like I think like we said, like Uber and Rex will take care of the transparency one. Rex is still on Praga. I don't know, break. If break, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly in English. And he will be back next week. I mean, during this week, but for the next transparency call. But I think like you guys mentioning, like you wanted to update the transparency one with Rex and Bea. And then
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we I think the document it's already created. I think Rex sent it to me and everything, but well, at least me, I don't have access to edit it, so I just requested it. But I don't know
okay. It's under the token engineering Gmail. I normally don't check it out, but yeah.
Okay. So for that, you have access to that email, right? Because Rex was telling me if I had access, but I just have access to the YouTube, so I actually have access to the email.
I actually make Rex admin, I think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, let me give you access on the transparency one. Yeah, the idea is like I'll be DMing. Sure. Yeah, this one. Sorry for that, Bear.
No, it's all good. So I guess like we can. Yeah, I was talking with Rex. We're gonna divide the work. Like he's gonna do 2 months. I'm gonna do 2 months. I'll get back to him, and I guess we'll probably have it done for next Monday for sure. I don't think it's that much of a work.
Yeah, it's like a couple of transactions. You guys could use the audit, like they are already there. You just need to copy paste and label as needed.
Yeah. I don't think it's much work. So yeah, we'll have it done for that then, and yeah, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, man. And also on the same lines of this thing, I'll be DMing, like after the vote passes. I will wait until the end. I'll DM every working group lead, so make sure like offer them like a demo if someone wants to pick it, so they can understand, and then if someone is not picking it, so we will do it. It will be done by us. Like let's say, like Tree says, "Oh, I don't have time for that," because in the vote says like it's not a requirement. It's
Okay.
really voluntary to use, but we believe using this document will benefit us all. So basically, like if someone doesn't want to do it, they will still providing like transparency around the work or any other platform they want, like Stewart, for example, they were using uh, the Discord chat. So basically, like we will pick it from them. But if the working groups end up doing themselves, it's better because something like we could call I don't know, operations in Gravity. Like I saw like the one that you and Rex did. It's like the tickets got under operations, and this is case mediation. I don't think those are operation. Like if Gravity do it themselves, it's better.
They have more context, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like Gravity, but all the working groups. Like if everyone does it by themselves, it's better. Then it's also less work from us. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like Rex is not here, but also we should start getting the master sheet done so we could start, because like we for June need to present the audit, so that should get done relatively quickly. But I think like, yeah, you and Rex are working pretty fast. So yeah, let's give it another week until Rex come back home.
Yeah, yes. So I think in the meantime we can do transparency, and what you're saying, I think that would be good. Like after the vote passes, if we can start contacting the working groups and maybe just like show them the template, right?
Yeah,
We were
and
also
sorry for
thinking with
interrupting.
Rex, uh, maybe for the groups that are interested, or if they are maybe like hesitant about it, we could also have like a small session with them, like where we explain the template to them and like the different benefits and all the different like info that they could will get from these sheets. So maybe that could be also a good idea, like an introduction session, let's call it.
Yeah, I actually was planning on doing like with like offering it like to them. Like if they want, like we make them a
Yeah.
short demo. Like it could take like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe,
Mhm.
yeah, or maybe we can also like jump into every working group call and then ask the lead to if they can give us like only 10 minutes of the time so we can
I feel
give
it's
them a
better like
demo.
in order to do that, it's better like a Stewas call, like 10 minutes of Stewas calls. But the last call was so intense that I decided like, maybe leave it there. But you could use one Steward calls, then everyone is there, and then. But also, it's pretty simple. Like
But
I actually I'm talking with all the stewards on a daily basis, so it's just like pick up 10 minutes of some calls, and it's done quickly. And then we also are not wasting time from everyone in a call. Like if we have to do it like for every soft call comes, I feel like yeah, it's too much. But that's
or
my
maybe because I mean, if it's not the steward who will be working on this document, maybe you can just set 1 hour call and then invite all the person that everyone who's assigned to take on the task. Because I don't know if all working groups is it gonna be all the stewards who will be working on the document, or are they going to assign it to someone else? Because if it's gonna be
normally
the stewards call.
normally it's stewards. Like for example, Chu is updating the D-work, so and no one is doing any kind of spreadsheet on comms. Then Gravity is me. Then Stewas is Tam. Communitas is Eduardo. Sampo is Gideon with the clarity.
I
Uh,
think it's a good point because maybe it's important that also like the rest of the members of the working groups kind of like know about the about the sheet, even though they don't actually use it, but that they are aware that of how it works and the information that it's gonna start tracking. I don't know.
Like, yeah,
It
but
goes both ways.
what I really envision is like, this final sheet. Like, this is shit, like it's just gathering information. Like, the shit that what's going to be more relevant as a community is going to be uh,
The master one.
the master. Yeah, exactly. And this is the one
Yeah.
we will promote more. This is just gathering data. Probably things that are there, working groups already somehow know. It's like people know what they're using the money, more or less.
Yeah, it's
I
useful for the working group. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's important is like, as a community, what are we doing as a community? And this is like the master sheet. Like, this small sheet is like just to gather all the data, bloom, 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 data, 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 data. And then with the other one, yeah, we have like the master sheet. This is the one, like, especially Sampo will be using. But of course, it's going to be open for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it's all good. I agree. Then I guess it's just like if you think it's better just to contact like each steward individually. I mean, I don't think it's kind of
I
like a big thing.
Yeah,
Or if
exactly.
we have like one call, or
I feel like it's easier, like, because if you also do like, you set up a call as I suggested, and then, oh, Chui cannot join to this call, then it's like, oh, it's kind of like, coordination work that adds work. And just, I'm chatting with Juan, and hey, Juan, transparency, we're doing this, check it out, this work like this and this. And then he can say, oh yeah, we can do that, and we think it could be beneficial for us. Then they pick it, and if they say no, it's also fine. It's like, okay, this working group is not going to do it, so we do it for them.
here I don't want to take more time like in this topic, but I just came with like another question. Uh, so what would it happen, for example, if like for in a working group like the steward they don't want to use it, but then maybe like the rest of the members of the group they do want to use it? Like how would we know that? Or like on the opposite, like the steward want to use them but the other members maybe they don't want to use them. How would we
I mean,
know that?
it's going to be done anyway, and if any contributor wants to date it themselves, they can reach out.
Mhm.
Like, if Stewart says, "Oh, Seb, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I'm not going to do it," like, we are going to do it for them, and it's going to be a public document. So if at some point, I don't know, Chui says, "Oh, I want to take care of the one from the stewards," he can do it, right?
Right, or even any other member of the working group,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If
I
it's not a
mean,
steward.
we say stewards. The steward of the steward is Tam, and Chui is a contributor on the stewards working group. But it could be the same for comms. Like, Ashley
Right.
Laser could jump and say, "Oh, I want to do it for comms." But I actually want to say, like, it's not paid work by transparency. Like, if comms is doing it, they take it from their budget. It's not like Acid Laser comes and pick the one for comms, and then we are paying Acid Laser for doing that. I think
Mm.
our budget is, is scarce. Like, we only have 10K, so yeah.
And if we do it for other working groups, do they pay us for doing it?
Oh
Good
no,
question.
no, no, no. They are not going to pay us. We just do it from the transparency budget. That's why the community pay. But if uh, it's we can do it. But if someone do it by themselves, it's better. But if not, we are going to do it, and of course, if we do it, it's going to be from our budget.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, if they don't have the budget, they're just gonna pass on the task to us. So we're gonna
I
use the
don't, I
budget to do the
don't,
work for them.
I don't think so. Like, for example, Gravity, I'm doing tertiary role for Gravity, and it's there. I was working on a sheet. I can just change and work with this other one since it's going to be beneficial for the community. And
Mhm.
almost every working group is doing it, having a sheet with the data, but it's not so clean. And then also private. Normally, like, it's like in these TMs for multi-sig, like Stewards multi-sig, and then they paste the budget there. And so we are going to make this data available to everyone. And the one who's doing it for transparent for Stevos, I think it's Tam. She could just use the one we have. She could say no, and that's also fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like, I still strongly feel about having like just one dedicated call to have this demo instead of just doing it in the stewards call, because I feel like it's kind of, we're centralizing the task among the stewards, and if there are other contributors who want to get involved, at least they can just join the call instead of having, let's say, you already show the demo in the stewards call, and then maybe a couple of other contributors want to learn or want to take on a task, and then you just have, then you do a one-on-one with them. So I think it will take more time.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it adds friction. Like, what if someone wants to do it? Like we go into this call, and then Acid Laser says, "I'm going to do it for comms," but then Chewy is not paying him or something weird. Like, I feel like we should talk with who's taking care of the budget of the working group, because
I think the first step is just to confirm with the stewards who will be working on the task, and then if there are people who will be working on the task that are not stewards, then we can open a dedicated call for the demo alone, and not just for the stewards. Because it doesn't make sense to have the demo among the stewards if not all the stewards will be doing the task. If there will be other people who will be doing that too.
Yeah, but that doesn't solve what I just said about creating friction around payments, especially now with all these things that are happening. Because I said, like, transparency cannot pay for everyone like doing it, because we already have the budget for the people that's in here already.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just confirm with them who will be doing it, and then they decide.
Yeah, I think like the steward should be the responsible for sharing it with their team.
Yeah, I don't really have strong opinion right now, because I'm also thinking like about this, that it's happening around the community, like the transformation of the steward's role. So also, how is that gonna maybe kind of affect this in some way? I don't know, maybe. So yeah, I would say that I agree that as long as everyone or most of the people know about this template, I think that's better. As many people know about it, then I think it's better. That's all I have to say right now.
But don't you think it's better to promote the final one? Like otherwise, like like we are living in an era where there's a lot of information, and then if you give the people like the curated information, it's better than if you start giving them a bomb of cool shit, and then what you give them the last one, and then they see everything instead of
I would say that both are important, and like in my mind, they are kind of different. Because, for example, maybe you could have like a contributor from one working group that they don't really care about the finances of the whole TEC, right? Maybe they might just be focused in their own working group, and they want to know like what's the status of their working group. So for that purpose, I think this sheet will be really helpful. Just to have like a small view of your working group. I think that's good. But then maybe for contributors or for investors or for stewards or for people that is more involved around the whole TC, of course it will be more helpful to have the master sheet. But I think both will have kind of their purpose, will be serving kind of their purpose. I guess we'll just let each person decide what they need, right?
Yeah,
I guess we would be just providing the.
I just
tool.
want to be clear, like the documents are going to be available and transparent to anyone. And
Yeah.
then, like what I'm trying to say is like let the working groups decide what they want to do. Like don't don't put in their business. Like, let them do. Like, I don't think we need to impose them. Oh, you know,
yeah.
check it. Like, I feel like we make it clear. Like, we have all these documents. Then we, of course, like we are, we care about promoting the master sheet because it's like what we are working for, right? Like, you know, that's what the service we're providing to the community, among other stuff, of course. But and especially for sample. But you know, like I don't think like we can let people know this exists and we're already doing it. Like we even make a vote in the snapshot, so like if people wanted to check it out, it's there. But I don't feel like we should, you know, go into every call, and I feel it's annoying. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what, like, you know,
I
if
mean,
if someone comes to this call and talk about other things that we don't know if that's what we wanted to talk. It's
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, if you don't, it's okay if you don't do the jumping to every working group call, but maybe just have one call dedicated for the demo. But yeah, it's just like an
But
hour and invite
no.
all.
The thing is, it's 5 minutes. It's five. The demo is 5 minutes. Like it's a spreadsheet. It's not a product. It- you know what I'm trying to say?
Then one thing that Rex and I were thinking about, like when we were talking, is that this idea of actually going to every single call. I don't know if it's a good idea, because like if we think that it will take us like 5 minutes, then I don't think it would be a big deal. And we were thinking on like dividing the tasks, so he could do like half of the calls and I could do half of the calls. Maybe we could do that, and maybe even if one of you guys is also interested in doing it, maybe we could divide it like between 3 people or 4 people even, and then I guess that would make it fairly quickly to do. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, if you guys are up to charge 5 minutes for each call, that seems fine. Like it's not a big deal. But again, I think it's unnecessary work. But up to you at this point.
Okay, then maybe I guess we could still maybe wait this week to decide. We can, in the meantime, do transparency. I guess
No,
we could do.
I think it shouldn't wait. Like my idea was, you know, do the DMs even today, get that
Okay.
done by tomorrow. That's it. Like I think we need to be efficient. Like we need to get things done, and like in 2 weeks, June is done, and in the next month the audit needs to be presented. So like I don't feel like we should waiting and doing inefficient work.
Yeah, I was saying it more like planning to ask Rex if he was still up to doing that, or if it's just better like to do what you're saying, like just DM the people and that's it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah, I don't I don't really know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll chat with Rex today. Actually, Rex is the PM of that project, so he's who gets to decide what we do there. I'll DM him. And, yeah.
sure, yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so yeah, that's this. Oh yeah, actually, it's so good that you're here, Anti, right now. I also was planning on creating the Hub board so we could start distributing who's doing what for the audit. Remember, like the deadline should be July. Like it'd be nice if we got it like the second week of July, like at least something like semi-finished. So we could use like 1 week for advice process and getting the designs with EFRA and get that done. Like we could during this week still doing some small changes. I mean, and if it takes another week, it's also okay. But ideally, like I like to get deadlines sooner, so we got like this pressure of getting things done, and yeah. Uh,
Well, I have one question and one suggestion. First, the suggestion. May I suggest that we use Clarity instead of SendHub? Uh, I'm kind of biased because this month I've been on a Clarity cohort, like learning with the Clarity team how to use the tool and whatever. But I really think it's a great tool. I think Bear has been using it quite a bit as well on sample, and he may be able to share some insight as well. And then the question is, so we are doing an audit just for the month of June?
Oh no! It's 3 months. We did the first one January, February, and March, and now we do April, May, and June.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, my bad. Sounds great.
And it's actually going to be cool because when Rex get finished with the data standardization, this is going to be much leaner than it was before. So the audit is somehow is going to be like copy paste most of the things and then doing changes. Like all the data is going to be more clean when Rex finish the data standardization.
Cool. Yeah, time is going fast.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
that's
I said June because I was in my head I was thinking like, but we presented the last audit like a few weeks before, but it's crazy. Time is
no.
just
It's
flying.
already 2 months. Like we presented on April.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, times pass. Yeah, also like it feels good for the, especially like, I mean, Sampo I think care more about the data more than the audit itself. But since the data is there, like to the audit is
Yeah,
pretty simple, and that's what we said we were doing on the proposal that people voted for.
Just to oh,
Oh,
sorry, sir.
no, I just wanted to say 20. The reason I'm using SendHub is because then to coordinate with the stewards is so easy. Like if we start using different coordination tools, then to coordinate with the stewards and it's harder. Like I know Sampo is doing both, but I feel like this is more work. I don't
Yeah, I
know
was.
what's. Go
Yeah, sorry, sir. Yeah, I was just gonna comment on that as well. Yeah, I think I'm kind of like with NT. I support that. I think Clarity it's pretty good and it has a lot of functionalities. I think that could really help us. But yeah, the only thing is that right that maybe we would need to add some time to coordinate ZenHub and Clarity, so they have kind of like the same stuff. I would say it's the way I'm seeing it, like in Sampo, is that ZenHub is more for like the community, like show what we're doing, and Clarity is more like for organizing within the group. So if we get to make it work here, I think it would be great because it will make easier even other things like payments, and gathering all our documents and all our information in one place. So I think that would be nice. Also, like to divide different tasks and different projects within the working group. I think it would be really helpful.
yeah. Also, because I thought you said we were going to use like to make a new table, a new like a separate Excel hub. But if we are going to use the same as the community, I think it works as well. Because to be completely honest, it's not like we have a huge amount of work to coordinate that we need. Like I think clarity would be great, but I mean we are cool also using the common set hub because it's the same thing, and we don't have like as much smart work as other working groups.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also,
Yeah, and what do you think, Ivy?
I think it there's no harm in trying. So yeah, I mean, if you have the
Time.
time to experiment on that, why not? Oh,
If
just
we
the
want to
time.
like I could commit to to take care of the clarity base. But yeah, honestly, no hard feelings, no hard like yeah, not what? No hard feelings about using clarity because we don't really have as much stuff to coordinate. So
Yeah, that's
whatever.
exactly. And we just have the audit and then the recordings, but it's not. We don't need coordination. It's like coordination is set up itself. Like Bear knows what he's doing. I feel it adds work. Yeah, that's my point of view. Like it adds work, and we don't like we have the thesis solved, which we also need to update anyway as a community thing. So the documentation is also there. I feel like if we want to use Clarity or SendHub, I personally don't have like, for me it doesn't matter. Like both are good. I don't mind learning a new tool, but I really like to be on the same page with the rest of the groups. Like I don't think uh, what's. I mean, Sampo is doing it and it's great. Like if they are doing and it's working for them, that's great. But I would feel more comfortable like doing what most of the community is doing, so the coordination is more clean.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Oh, that's fine. It was also my mistake because I thought like we were going to spin up a new Senhub board, but then like
Oh no 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 no!
I'm just catching up, and I'm kind of a bit dizzy, so
Yeah, and
it's fine.
honestly, like the only reason I'm updating the SendHub board is because we need to keep accountable to the community. But
Hmm.
honestly, what we're doing in transparency, it's we don't have like too many projects, and we have like three: the data standardization, the ABC page that I'm not even talking in this call because it's something I'm doing, but it's also done by transparency. But the coordination is happening with General Magics and Common Stack. Uh, the audit recordings and yeah, and that's it. We're not doing anything else. So I feel like
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, and again, like I'm updating the SendHub just to make sure like the community knows what we're doing, but that's it. Like I'm a really person. Like I really like to get things simple, get things done, and as long as these things are done, like we don't need to do more work if it's not needed.
yeah. I think then the next topic on the agenda was about using the treasury we have for like investing the treasury essentially.
Oh yeah, that's a big topic. Yeah, let me introduce it. So basically, I mean, I know like the TC is having a bad time with the money, but at the same time, if we risk our money, we should also have some benefit. But we could also lose. So no hard feelings. Like if someone is like, "Oh, dude, I need this money," don't do that. Like if one member is blocking it, we are not doing it, and it's fine. Or we could also separate it. Like, okay, and if, for example, like if Verdon wasn't to do it, we could also do it with the rest of the funds and save like first budget or whatever. Like, yeah. But basically, like my idea is like monitor a little bit like the market, and because right now it's still falling. Let me check. Let me check from Gecko, but the last time, yeah, one and two, 1.2k ETH, 23k Bitcoin. Actually, at 22k Bitcoin, the Celius project would get liquidated, which means like it would probably dump a little bit more. So yeah, the idea is like keep monitoring those pairs, and basically like with the transparency money, buy the dip, and the idea would be like doing transparency payments instead at the end of the month, like at the end of the project, which would mean like the money would be like we have more time, so the money is like I don't know the English word, but the trade is having time. Like it's not like we buy today, we change tomorrow, which is like scalping and all that stuff is even harder. But we let the trade evolve, and yeah, the idea was like like if we get I don't know 20% or 30% or whatever or 5% of profits, we would get half of the profits to distribute on the team accordingly for everyone's compensation, and then the other half would be used for like the next transparency proposal. So we would have like some carryovers. And this is like the good scenario, the one we would love to have. But then, before deciding anything, like this can also go wrong. Like, what if we buy this Bitcoin now at 23K and then it dumps to 10K? Like salaries would go to half. And the idea here would be like paying the proportionate part of everyone's salary on Bitcoin or Ethereum at 23K. So it would, it's for our perspective, it's a bit unfair because if we win, we are paying the TC half, but if we lose, we are paying the risk ourselves. That's something I came up yesterday. Actually, I was thinking, and I'm not so sure if we want to do it, but I wanted to talk it with you guys and see what do you guys think. I don't know. I'll pass it 20.
Okay, well, here's what I'm thinking. Um, really convinced of the idea, of putting the money that's intended to cover operation costs, at risk. Um, what I would probably support is like um putting the XDAI on something like Agave, which is like pretty low risk, and but it's still you're just earning some yield in the same XDAI. Uh, and also something that I would be open to would be when sample is properly running, I would be open to lending some of the funds to the sample treasury management so that they can take care, like so that they have a professional taking care of that business, and then we just enjoy the outcome if it's if it's
I
if it is
just
a positive outcome. But yeah,
I
I don't
just
think we should like. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say like the sample thing could never happen. It's a proposal that is there that could take months, even years, or even not happen.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying that because I believe we are not capable, or like we don't have the capacity to be on top of those funds like on every second, and just properly management that treasury, that those investments. And so if the TC ever gets like a proper treasury management system, whereas is in house, or we pay maybe we end up paying Capar K, which is a group that manages the treasury for Gnosis. Like whatever we do, if we end up with a treasury management, with a proper treasury management, I may support that. But currently, unless we have, unless we understand that we have the capacity and expertise to control those assets, I don't really support that because it's I can do that with my money, but I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that with with others' money.
Remember, like this money is our money.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know if we all have the same risk tolerance. I don't know
Yeah, yeah. I agree on that. I
if
agree on
like
that.
I don't know if maybe Bear truly needs that money, and I wouldn't feel comfortable like putting that at risk.
Yeah, but
Uh,
that's fair to decide, right? Like I'm talking personally for you. Like I think you should talk for you. Like again, like I'm not fully convinced, and I would somehow do it because I really think like the market is falling for a very long time, and it's like looks like an easy profit. It could be an easy lose. So no financial advice. I'm doing it with my own money. So yeah, I'm just yeah.
Yeah, that's basically where I stand. I would support like stablecoin farming of agave or maybe curve, but not nothing more than that. At least in my part. And yeah, I'll pass it over to Ivy.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert in this liquidity pools but I agree with what NT said. Like we have different risk tolerance, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't also I if we're maybe my question is like, what's our safety net? Like, what if we lose? Like, how can we make sure that the other contributors get paid fairly for their contribution if we lose the if we lose the budget? Maybe that's my question. Like, what's our safety net?
I mean, my point is like, what would happen in 3 months? Like maybe like the community cannot afford what we are doing. So if we like at least try to help on palliate those, would be cool. I mean, if not, it's okay. Like we get the job done, and if the community doesn't pass it, we stop working on it, and it's fine. Uh, but yeah, that would be like the other part. Like what happens if we like. I mean, I actually make it clear with the rest of the group. Like the transparency working group is not making money, not now, not ever, and they still pass the proposal. But I feel like we could somehow support. But again, like it's our own salary. Like our salary shouldn't be at risk, and that's probably a crazy idea of mine. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the sentiment is like not put it anywhere, which is fine. I wouldn't put it in Agave. I don't trust the code. And Curve probably yes. And yeah, I don't know. Do you want to comment there, Ver? But it seems like we are not going to do it anyway. But would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. So I would just maybe say a couple of things. One is that I don't know how we would like play out like having kind of this initiative at the same time of the treasury initiative that Sampo would be doing. I don't know how would that look like. Like in my opinion, might look a little weird that there's like a big treasury initiative that the TC is working on, and at the same time there's like individually working groups trying to kind of like do their own thing. Uh, so I don't know. I just felt it would be a little weird, and also on the other side, I guess it's also kind of like more of a question. Uh, how would be because we would be changing like the motive of our funds like according to our proposals. Like we are saying that we were going to use them for something and then we would like end up using it for something else. So I don't know if that would be like a process of changing the proposal or how would that look like in the eyes of the rest of the community if we
As
decide
long
to change.
as long as we get the things done, it doesn't matter.
Because
Like
then maybe people could say, right, like they maybe are asking too much money, right? Because they are having like extra money to spend on investments, and they are also like doing everything they promised, but
I
like maybe
mean,
they request less.
we could end up getting less money than the one we deserve. It's not like we are, you know, creating more money out of nowhere. Like we are putting our salaries there to support the TC mostly. Like the only reason I'm proposing it is for the TC. Like it's like with my own money, I just do it for me, and all the profits or losses are for me. But it's like to do something for the TC, and I think it has nothing to do with what Sampo is doing for the treasury. Like it's totally different scope. Like what Sampo is trying to do is like getting 300k out of the community the common pool and do management with it. I'm kind of against that, honestly, but that's something we will discuss there. Like, it's not a transparency matter. I mean, when it gets approved, yeah, it's a transparency matter because we need to make sure to report everything they're doing. But other than that, I also, like, I do not believe in experts. Like Enti was saying, like, some people is managing Gnosis fund, good for them. I personally would not give my money to anyone, and that's why I also wouldn't give my money. Like, the money of the TC is our money, so it's also mine, which means I wouldn't feel comfortable like someone managing my funds separately from the community.
Yeah,
Um,
that's even, I would say that would be another question, right? Like, if we do that, like, who would be doing that, right? Who would be the person in charge of doing all the trades? Who
all,
would be
all of
trusting our
us,
money too,
all of
right?
us, all of us. Like, my intention was, doing it by us, and anything we do should get like 80%. Like, if we decide, like, I know, like, now it's like probably not going to happen. But still, like, my idea was, like, if we want to buy Bitcoin, it's like 80% of the transparency team should be saying yes, and and then to get it back to die, like, imagine, like, it pumps, or it also goes down, and it's like, okay, good losses, right? Any decision should be done by the whole team.
Uh, I mean, like, more of the practical steps, like actually doing the trade and transferring the funds to like a
Oh,
certain wallet and all
no,
that.
no, that can be done with the Gnosis safe, like me and I be controlling it.
Yeah,
I
that's probably that's, I guess, kind of a reason um, I don't really support it because see what happened with Celsius. If we had to wait till everyone here agreed on moving funds from I don't know, Ethereum or Bitcoin back to stable coins after the Celsius announcement, we would probably be late because we had to wait to for everyone to agree, and we are pretty spread out in different time zones. And that's also reason why you know uh, well, I think it was Angela that said that on the last week sample meeting. That sample Gideon was thinking about having someone 5 hours a week, but really, the market doesn't sleep. Particularly now, the crypto market, it's 24/7. So we would, if we are going to take on a lot of risk, and that's why I support more like a core pool, like a stable coin yield farming. um, is precisely because we would need to have someone with their eyes open and able to act quickly in response to any market movement. And also, I guess my conclusion, like you said, like we could sort of just take, if I agreed but Bear didn't, we could just take my part of the funds and invest mine and leave Bear's alone. And if we end up doing that, I think it's better if everyone handles their funds once they got them in their wallets, because it's easier, less coordination overhead, and you just deal with your funds however you see fit.
Yeah, but then it's weird because it creates weird mechanics. Like, what if people is not giving back the money, right? I feel it's better if it's in a multi-sig, but yeah, and I don't know. It's okay. Like, it seems like we're not, like, there's so much overhead. There is, like, I feel like people is like low risk profile, which is great. So I mean, I feel like what we should do is, like, keep using the money the way we were using it, and but I don't know, like, just keep in mind, like, it could possibly happen, like, we might not need to do all these things we're doing here, and it's fine. I'm not saying, like, we should pay the TC to get those things done, but yeah, like in 3 months, like, we will need to pass another proposal.
Maybe something interesting that I've been thinking about is would be also like to kind of imagine and like start getting creative and trying maybe to find a way in which we can actually make transparency sustainable as well. Maybe we haven't thought about it, but maybe there's a way to create some kind of
Charging the
revenue.
TC. I mean, it's like I really I'm really against when people is talking about making working groups sustainable, which is great, like if gravity is sustainable, it's good. But then it's people talking like gravity should get their service with TC. Like I don't think that this should even happen. Like I feel like gravity is its own entity, and if they grow enough to be like self-sustainable, they make like their own project, and they of course, like they have like close relations with TC, like One Hive and TC, but it's not like they're the same project. Gravity will use Gravity token for all their things, and they could eventually have a pool Gravity TC. But if transparency, for example, it becomes sustainable, like and again, if transparency makes self-sustainable, that doesn't mean we will not charge the TC. Services provided to the TC will be charged to the TC, and that's it. Like if we make recordings for the TC, even if Aragon pays us for doing recordings for Aragon, but if we do recordings for TC, we're going to charge TC, and this is what it is. Like we're providing a service, and if they want the service, they have to pay, and if they don't want the service, then they stop paying, and that's it. But
So maybe here's like a question that I would have, like I would ask. So what is that line between like kind of like what you're saying, Septi, but also kind of like giving back to the TC and not much in value because I think like all the service that we provide is the value, but I mean more like in the economic part of it. Like what's the responsibility of each, or if they even have a responsibility of each working group to get some funds back to the common pool. Is there a thing like that, or is that maybe just in my mind? Because I feel like
yeah, it's in your
just
mind.
I just feel that as being part of a working group, as part of the TEC, like I would say that there would be some kind of, yeah, I don't know if call it responsibility to kind of provide some economic value back to the TEC. I don't know. That's just my mind, I guess.
Yeah, the TC mission is to advance the token engineering field, and like the T Academy, like we found the T Academy. We don't expect like the T Academy pay for what takes the years. Like what we expect from the T Academy is like they advance the token engineering field. They get people like Rex to study their course for free, and making like the world a better place to live. But we do not expect like they give value back to the TC. It'd be nice if it happens, but it's not what we expect.
I think that's part of the problem that I see, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
currently I don't see any initiative kind of focusing in giving back economic value to the TEC, and I think that's one of the reasons why the common pool is draining out of funds, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's why sample was created for, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
that's
just think it would be easier also, like if each, like you say, it's not a must, but it would be a nice to have if like the working groups that have the capability could maybe kind of imagine if they a way to get funds. Like
I
yeah, it's
mean,
just my opinion.
the thing with conviction voting is like, at least at the beginning, when there is a lot of money, it's so easy to take money away from the common pool. Like at some point, I was talking with Sam, like, like I feel like operations shouldn't be more expensive than the revenue generated from the ABC. Like if the ABC generates 3K, then we only have 3K for operations, and that should be it. Otherwise, like the system starts to making unsustainable because we have a very big load of operations, and I think that's the big problem of the TC. And you said another question, but I do not remember now. And we're at the top of the hour. We could keep talking in the chat, but I feel like yeah, that's. Oh yeah, the other thing was like we are doing common goods, and like the difference between our common goods and the ones that the governments are providing is like they make people to pay taxes. That's where they get revenue. And here we only have like the ABC, and I think like we should be more careful how we use the funds. But I guess like now it's starting to be like a bit late. I feel like I also have like a personal sentiment against conviction voting. I feel like it's so easy to pass proposals and misuse the money. But yeah, I don't know if someone wants to share some last thoughts, but we're also 1 minute on the top of the hour. Great. So I guess that's our transparency call. It was, I mean, I feel it was productive anyway, but yeah, it's okay. Like I feel like our consensus here is not to push this treasury thing, and keep doing it the way we were doing until now. And if someone feels differently at some point, just raise the point again in another transparency call. But I personally will not be keep talking about that. And thanks everyone.
Thank you, Zep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.